Is Jerry going to be here tonight?
There he is. Just showed up in the waiting room.
Ah.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
okay, you can hear me good.
Yep.
You running the meeting tonight?
I'm going to do my best.
You're doing an awesome job. Sorry it's a little late. What time is it?
Got 1 minute.
I had deleted my my Friday letter, and that was how I get in. Mr. Schultz is going to be absent, right?
Correct.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, what's up, Kay?
Not much, buddy.
How's Murphy doing?
Oh, he's got two bad legs now. I don't know. Murph, he's going to be 15 in July. I don't know.
Well, I got two bad legs too, so don't get too mean.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah. Let me know, Neil. Is everybody here?
Looks like it.
Okay.
And we just hit 6 o'clock, so we're good to go.
Okay, I will call this Warren Woods Public Schools Board meeting to order. I'll do a roll call. Green present. Schulte is absent with notice. Miss Walsh.
Walsh present.
Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti present.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick present.
Mr. Hiller.
Hiller present.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia present.
Okay, we've established a quorum. Item 3 is agenda approval. Mr. Cassidy.
No, Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, I missed it again. Okay, who's going to lead it tonight? Okay, I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Kay. Item 3 is agenda approval. Mr. Cassaman.
I have no changes.
Motion by Zanetti to accept the agenda as presented.
Support Fitzpatrick.
Motion by Zanetti, support by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh.
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Hiller.
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. Item
Hiller.
motion
To
by Hiller.
accept.
Support Fitzpatrick.
Support by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Any questions on that? Mr. Hiller.
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh.
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. Item 5 is correspondence. There are none. Item 6 is payment of the bills.
Yes, tonight we're going to pay the following bills. General Fund, $917,509.57. Center Programs, $2,558.61. Food Service Fund, $59,090.50. Child Care Fund, $715.90. Campus Corner, $489.28. Bond 2018, $2,632.64. And bond $320.76.
Motion by Walsh,
Support Fitzpatrick.
support by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Ms. Walsh.
Walsh, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any questions on that? I'm sorry. Walsh, yes.
Questions?
Is there a question?
No question.
Okay. Walsh, yes. Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Hiller.
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. Item 7 is old business. There is none. Item 8 is new business reports. Do we have our student reps, Mr. Kassenbaum?
Yes, it looks like both Kara and Hannah are here tonight.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
You got the
Good. How
floor.
about you?
Good.
All right. So over the weekend, mock trial competed in their regionals and ended up placing in the top 2. So they're on their way to states once again this year.
Mr. Henshaw's leadership class, a committee called the Student Outreach Committee / Student Voice Committee. Hannah and I are in it actually. We set goals and we try to accomplish these goals as our task. And one of our goals was to do a March's Reading Month with the elementary schools and send videos of some students from the leadership class reading books to some of the elementary level kids. And so we're working with Mr. Keen at Pinewood, and we're going to be sending videos maybe once, like 1 or 2 per week, and read to the kids so they aren't missing out on that.
And also over the weekend, cheer placed first at their invitational. And this Friday, swim competes in their divisions.
On Friday, there's 3 signings happening at Tower. Justice Glasgow, she's signing. First case is signing for football at Olivet College. And also, Dak Delisle and myself, we compete for state, our state competition for DECA, which is a little different. It's all online, but we're very excited to present our projects to the state judges.
And that's all we have. Is there any questions?
Hey, Kara,
Yeah.
Keegan's going to, well, it's going to be all Zoom, but Keegan made it again this year for Utica.
Oh, really? What event is he doing?
Well, you know what? That's probably something to ask his mom. I don't know. He
Grandma, come on.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on that one, but just proud of all of you guys for the hard work, especially during the pandemic to achieve going again. You know, it's just, we're proud of you guys.
Thank you. My a ton of this pictures from states last year were popping up, and so it was super sad.
I know. You guys.
That's the last time I saw you in the bathroom.
Yes, it is. And you know what? That was this past weekend. And little did we all know that would be, you know, our last weekend of our life being normal.
For sure.
You know, but it's getting better, and we have to think positive. And even though you and all the kids and Keegan and all the other kids across the country can't participate live and go on these wonderful trips, just knowing how proud we are of you that you guys were able during the pandemic to achieve such great success and goals. I'm just very proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
I was entering and leaving the building using the alternative entrances today.
It was good. I
Yeah,
feel like
just-
everybody adapted to it very well.
Yeah, I mean, dismissal, like it was just it took a little longer, but it was fine. It was organized. It wasn't really chaotic.
Good.
Hey, thank you, ladies. Anyone else? Okay, that's a report. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is our student achievement update extended COVID-19 pandemic learning plan. Mr. Kassenbaum.
Yes, let me pull up Stacy's presentation. You good with that? Everybody see that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so this is the report portion of the monthly recommitment plan. This is obviously the meeting of March 8th, 2021, where we will be going over our extended COVID-19 learning plan for the 2021 school year. And this will be our recommitment for the month of March. This slide again just goes over all of the things that we are required to do as part of the state plan. In terms of changes for March 2021, pretty simple. There are no recommended changes whatsoever from our February plan. We will continue to move forward with the offering in-person instruction the full 5 days a week, while also having the online option available for parents. Looking at the fourth quarter, we had sent a commitment form home to parents. Parents had the choice to choose between no change, switching to virtual, or switching to in-person. Only parents who wanted to switch were required to complete the form. We had 1,780 students were represented by the fully completed and submitted surveys. Of those, 723 were at the elementary level, with 78 additional students choosing to come back in person, while 11 of them were choosing to switch from in-person to virtual. 444 total commitment forms at the middle school level, with 68 choosing to return in person and 13 choosing to go virtual, and 613 total commitment forms filled out at the high school level, with 71 additional students choosing to come back in person, with 9 choosing to go virtual. We are currently working on the plan to get everybody scheduled and rebalance class sizes. We anticipate there being some minor movements for those who have requested changes. And then these changes will all take place beginning Monday, March 29th, which is the start of fourth quarter. As part of our recommitment plan, we also have students. And as you can see, we continue to have extremely high two-way interaction rates. In many cases here, we are over 99%, with just the 1 week from February 17th to February 19th being just above 98%, which was actually the midwinter break week. So we continue to reach out and connect with all of our students at a very, very high level, even given the pandemic. Moving forward from here, our next steps will be we'll be able to notify staff beginning next week of any student moves and changes that will be taking place. And we'll be able to notify the parents the week of March 22nd, with fourth quarter beginning on Monday, March 29th. That week will be a short week, as that is also when spring break starts. So there will be no school starting Friday, April 2nd, all the way through Friday, April 9th, with school resuming after spring break on Monday, April 12th. And that is also our next board meeting, where we will again recommit to the plan. And that is just the report portion. So if anybody has any questions, I would do my best to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions?
No questions, just encourage that students are starting to come back to the classroom. That's good to see that people are choosing. And so they're feeling comfortable with what we've done and what we're doing. So it's good to hear and see. Thanks, Neil.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Oh, Neil, great picture.
No, thanks.
Sharp. Dude. Okay, the item 9 is public expression, which is after that report. Mr. Kassenbaum.
Yes, since we are streaming again tonight, if anybody would like to participate in public expression, please dial 646-558-8656. The meeting ID, which can be found on the agenda, is 851-6386-7955. And the passcode is 979524. Once you are in the waiting room, we will let you in and we will call out the last 4 digits of your phone number so that you can unmute yourself and participate in public expression. It does look like we have 1 phone number currently in the waiting room. So we will start with 5075. If you could unmute yourself. Caller 5075, if you could unmute yourself.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Please state your
Hi,
name,
this is
Secretary.
Jennifer. This is Jennifer Wisniewski. I'm currently teaching kindergarten at Pinewood. That wasn't my phone number, so it was weird. Sorry. I would have answered it. I am calling to invite the board and the central administration to come and read for March's Reading Month. Usually I do that job for my library media job, but as a union, we'd like to, as our members, as a community, we'd like to invite you to come and read for March's Reading Month. You can do a virtual read or you can do a in-person, face-to-face read. We have an electronic calendar that we can send you, and you can sign up. There's a point person from each building that will connect you with somebody that would like to have a reader in their classroom. So I encourage you to sign up and come and read, and we would love to have you in the building. Or if you want to do it virtually, we can do a Teams meeting as well. All right, thank you, and I hope everyone is healthy and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Caller 5075. If you want to hit *6 to unmute yourself. All right, they are still on mute. Looks like we have an additional caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello, last four digits, 7307.
That's me, yes.
Hi, please state your name for the secretary.
My name is James Scarcelli. I'm a 1981 Warren Woods graduate. And I'm going to speak. Now, should I turn off my computer? I don't know if that's going to.
You're not echoing
Can you
right
hear
now.
me?
So, yep, you're not echoing right now, so you're fine.
I'm not. Okay, anyway, I'm a 1981 graduate. I just wanted to say a few words about Dennis Zaboza.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I just, it's a great honor to speak to the board of the community that I grew up in, that I love and respect. And I've been following Warren Woods ever since I left, and I just think you continue to do great things. But I want to stand with, I'm standing with hundreds today. I'm one man speaking about Dennis Zaboza, but I'm really flanked by hundreds on each side of me. Former students, former players, former teachers that worked with him, and talking about the great things that he did for so many of us. And, but if you're going to talk about Dennis Zaboza, I just want you to know a little bit about the man, because I've known him for about 45 years. He was my 7th grade gym teacher and then my high school football coach. If you're going to talk about Dennis Zaboza, you've got to start with integrity. The man is all about honesty and truth. There's not a dishonest bone in his body. He's just always been an honorable man. The second thing I would say is he cared about his students, his athletes. He cared about them more than just athletes, but I would say he taught and he coached with his heart. And third thing I would say is he was a great motivator. Motivator for students, motivator for his athletes. He wasn't a loud man, but he motivated with love. And he found a way to get great effort out of the team, out of the individuals. But he was a great motivator. He was a disciplinarian. He believed in having fun, but at the same time, he wasn't going to tolerate immature behavior or people that weren't doing things that were helping the team. So there was always discipline on our teams. One thing that Dennis Zaboza stood out for, too, was to have fun. He always believed as a coach, if a kid's going to go to school for 6-8 hours a day, 6-7 hours a day, and then come to practice for a couple hours, that he should have fun. That you should try to have fun as a coach with your players, and we always did that. And like I said, sometimes practice is grueling, but he always found a way to tell a joke, something to have some fun out there. Sixth thing I would say is he was a great teacher. He was a great teacher in the classroom, and he was a great teacher as a coach. He was a great communicator. He made things easy to understand. As an athlete that played for him, he made things simple. And we learned through repetition. He was a big believer in repetition, keeping things simple, not trying to fool the opponent with a lot of different things, but believed in being really good at a few things. And I thought he was just his methodology of teaching was awesome. He was a leader of his coaches. A lot of times, head football coaches they're not real good with leading their coaches, but his coaches, they were unified. They loved each other. They loved him, and he kept them together. And there was always a great staff of coaches at Warren Woods when he was a coach in at Warren Woods Tower. The last thing I would say about him, though, is he was very smart, very intelligent man. His players knew what they were doing. Sometimes coaches try to do too much. He made things simple, but he always found a way to outcoach the opponent. If I was on a bus and we're driving to Fitzgerald to play, or Centerline or Lincoln, wherever we're going, I want Dennis Zabozen leading me out of that bus, because I think he was going to be smarter than the guy on the other side of the field. He's just an intelligent man. He was a student of the game. He spent time to learn the game, and it showed, because we were always a step ahead of the opponent. I thought I knew football. I played, junior high, high school, college for 5 years. And so 11 years I played. I was an assistant coach for 11 years, and then I became a head coach. And I met up with Coach Zabozen. I said, "Okay, Coach, I'm going to be a head coach." I thought I knew football. I played for 11 years. I coached for 11 years. And sat down with him, and we started talking football. By the end of that discussion, I realized how little I knew, and I walked away thinking, man, we were so lucky to have played for Dennis Zabozen. Just so much knowledge and wisdom that he knew, and me having thought I understood the game, but he was a knowledgeable man. But anyway, like I said, integrity. He cared. He motivated. He disciplined. We had fun. He was a great teacher. He was a great leader. He was smarter than the opponent. I've got another quick story here. 1963, my parents looked around Warren to buy a house, and they settled on a house on Shelbourne Street, and that's where we lived. And but they were looking, and they almost bought a house on 10 Mile in a different district. And we used to go to a restaurant there, and every time we drove by that house that my parents almost bought, which would have been in a different district, my dad would say, how different our life would have been had he bought that house. And had we not gone to Warren Woods, had we not worked under those great teachers in the great school system and played for those great coaches. So our parents were always appreciative of the great leadership and the administration and the teachers and the coaches at Warren Woods, and how our lives may have been different. And I would just say that, Dennis Zabozen is really the blueprint for what you want as a teacher and coach. When Warren Woods is looking for someone to be a teacher and coach, that's the blueprint. And I just think he's, if we do decide to put his name on that stadium, that it's something that it's really, not only is it a great thing for him to honor a great teacher, a great coach, a great mentor, but really it motivates the future as a role model for young teachers and coaches that's the kind of role model we want for our teachers and coaches. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm a Warren Woods public school fan till I go to the grave. Hope for the best. Always cheering for the Titans. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We still have caller 5075 in the queue, so Kevin's going to try to unmute them for us, see if we can get them able to speak.
Okay.
Hey, Jerry,
Yes,
can I say something about Mr. Zabozin?
absolutely.
Well, class of 71 here, and Mr. Z was my driver's training instructor. So he continued to be in our district after he had to teach Katie to drive. So that being said, everything that Mr. Scarselli said is absolutely positively true about Mr. Z. He's the best of the best, and I'm pleased too to be doing this for him.
Mr. Cassaban, it looks like the caller 5075 is unmuted now.
I'm Dave Zabozin. It's my dad. I graduated from Woods Tower, and obviously I know Jim and all that. And on behalf of my family, we just think it's a great honor to even consider the whole thing. So thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Neil, who was that? I missed it. I'm sorry.
That was David Zabozin, Dennis's son.
Okay.
We do not have any additional callers in the queue, Mr. Green.
I have something real quick, Mr. Green. I just wanted to say that, reading news articles last week or two, since more and more schools have been going back to in-person learning, and hearing accounts from other people that the troubles they're having in other districts, whether it be staffing, protocols, and everything. I just wanted to commend, as always, our administration, our teachers, our staff, our support staff members on the excellent job and commitment that they've had to this district. I'd also like to, appreciate the parents and students for following the protocols, for keeping kids home sick when necessary, when they were sick. And I think as a whole, from everything I've heard, Warren Woods is doing above and beyond everything that can be done. And I'm really proud of everyone that's been part of this last year now, since we finally hit the 1 year anniversary, I guess. So it's been a year, and I think everyone's really shined through and done their part, and I'm happy to be part of that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hiller. We'll move on now. That public expression was on the extended COVID plan. Item 10 is a reconfirmation of that plan. It is an action item for the board to vote. Mr. Cassabaum.
Yes, this is just the official motion to commit to the plan that we had just gone over as a report, and people had a chance to speak to during public comment.
I entertain a motion.
Motion by Zanetti,
Mr.
Support
Zanetti,
Fitzpatrick.
support by Fitzpatrick. Are there any questions? Mr. Zanetti,
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes, the motion carries. Item 10 is an item, we had a few comments from there. It's a resolution naming the middle school athletic field after Mr. Zabozin. Mr. Cassabaum.
Yes, it's going to be hard to say anything more than what the caller said, but you do have in your packet tonight a resolution to name the Warren Woods Middle School athletic field after Dennis Zabozin. I'm not going to read the whole resolution, but I will try to summarize a few parts here. Dennis Zabozin's distinguished career with the Warren Woods Public Schools began when he signed his first contract in 1967 and continued through his retirement in 2003. Dennis contributed his expertise as a teacher, coach, administrator, and driver's education instructor, performing all with passion and love for his students, culminating in many accomplishments listed in the resolution, including 5 league championships as a coach, the state semifinalist team, in the 1978 state championship team. Dennis had an overall 77-24 record as a coach, coaching for 18 years in Warren Woods Public Schools. Dennis was a 4-time regional coach of the year, 3 times named the Macomb County Coach of the Year, and 5 times the Coach of the Year. He's also been inducted into the Hamtramck Hall of Fame, an inductee into the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association, and an inductee into the Macomb County Coaches Association. Dennis's positive influence had an impact that was life-changing for many, encouraging students and players alike to never give up, turning failures into teaching moments, and using successes as building blocks. The resolution then ends with, therefore be it resolved, the Board of Education of Warren Woods Public Schools supports naming Warren Woods Middle School athletic field in honor of Dennis Zabozin.
So Neil, I don't know if you said this, but very impressive. First ever state champ from Macomb County in 1978.
Yes, that is very impressive for sure.
Unbelievable. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Walsh makes a motion to change the name of the Warren Woods Middle School to be named after Mr. Dennis Zabozin, the athletic field.
Support from Fitzpatrick.
Motion by Walsh, support from Fitzpatrick. Any comments? Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Zanetti,
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes, the motion carries. Well deserved.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Next item is a bid award for classroom AV equipment, a very large bid, Mr. Kassenbaum.
Yes, tonight we are requesting the Board of Education to approve the bids for classroom AV equipment. Bids were opened on February 23rd. The bidders were interviewed by our technology team as well as Metro Technology. These bids will be providing new classroom audiovisual equipment for Briarwood, Pinewood, Westwood Elementaries, as well as Warren Woods Middle School. Tonight's recommendation includes 2 contracts, one to Tyranny Brothers for the audiovisual systems and equipment, the other to C-High Computer Products for the classroom printers portion. To further explain exactly what an AV system and equipment means, I put together just a couple quick slides here. So it is a large award, and I know it's a little bit easier when you can actually see what it is that we are awarding. So the award that we are recommending tonight includes the installation of a new smart interactive display board in each of the classrooms. So this will actually, the award also includes the removal of all the existing equipment. So the old smart boards that are in many of our classrooms now will be removed. The projectors will be removed from the ceilings, and they will be replaced with a new interactive display board that looks like this. Those boards will also be mounted on the walls in majority of our classrooms with an adjustable height wall mount. So in a lot of our elementary classrooms, when we have students coming up to the board to interact with it, the teachers will have the ability to move that board up and down with the remote that you see there on the right-hand side of the mount. Because this is a total wireless solution, the smart board will not be connected via wire. It will also be wireless, so our teachers will be able to use their laptops as they move throughout the classroom to connect to the smart board. In addition, the document camera that we've included in the bid package and as part of this award is the smart document camera, which is also completely wireless. And it's not just the picture that we're showing here. There are no wires attached, so a teacher will be able to charge the document camera throughout the night. When they come in the next day, they'll be able to take their document camera and move it throughout the classroom with them as they need to. In addition, each classroom is going to receive an amplified classroom audio system. So a teacher will have a pendant microphone that they can wear that will amplify their voice throughout the classroom. And there will also be a separate student microphone. And then there'll be four speakers that will be installed in each classroom to make sure that we have total coverage throughout the classroom. And then this is the mount that will be mounted in each classroom, which will house the equipment that will allow it to charge each night as well. And then in addition, each classroom will be getting a new printer, which will be installed in each classroom, which will also be wireless. So again, a teacher will have the most flexibility possible with the solution because everything will be wireless. They can simply set their printer anywhere in the classroom. Their laptop will be able to connect to it remotely, and they'll be able to print from throughout the classroom. And then also as part of the overall solution, we are recommending to award alternate number 3 to Tierney's Brothers, which includes a mobile video conferencing unit for each of the buildings. And each, within the bid, we also have included a mobile cart, which will go in the media centers, the gyms, the Pinewood TPC lab. The mobile video conferencing carts will be on this unit, as well as the middle school science lab classrooms. Those units will be installed on a cart that looks like this, because the science built-in teaching stations in the front of their classrooms do not allow us to mount those on the board and on the wall and have students have the ability to see it clearly. So it's just a little bit easier when you can see it in pictures to kind of visualize what the entire package is going to look like. It is a large amount of money with the Tierney Brothers recommendation award, $1,096,516.30, which will be paid for out of the 2020 bond funds, and the C-High Computer Products Award of $20,127.08, which will come out of the 2018 bond funds award. Mr. Hustic is on the line with us tonight, as well as Ken Wosick from Metro Technologies, if anybody has any additional questions as well.
Hey, Neil, this is Mr. Zinn. I have two questions.
Before we do questions, let's have a motion.
Motion by Hiller to accept the bid.
Motion by Hiller,
Support Fitzpatrick.
support by Fitzpatrick. Questions, go ahead.
Yeah, so the first one is, so this, just reading through the quote here and the bid, I'm sorry, just to be clear, this is for Briarwood, Pinewood, Westwood, and Warrenwoods Middle School. Now, do we have a separate one that'll be coming in the future for the high school, or is the high school kind of past, they have what they need right now?
The high school will be taking place next summer. So
Okay.
in putting together what this bid package was going to look like, we've been working for, I want to say for a year now, with our instructional technology team in terms of what it is that teachers wanted. We've had several meetings with them, and one thing we heard loud and clear was flexibility and the ability to be able to move throughout the classroom, which is where a lot of this equipment has come from. The high school team that has been an instructional technology team has some other, I don't want to call them issues, but concerns and things that we're still trying to work through with them. So we've decided to not bid out the high school package for this year until we can make sure that we're putting in exactly what it is they want that will meet their needs. So we've just put off the high school replacement until next year so that we can assure that what we are about to bid out for large sums of money will be exactly meeting the needs of the teachers at that level.
I kind of next on Neil, what I was going to ask, the timeline on all this.
Kevin and Ken, I'll let you guys talk through what we have mapped out for a timeline for this, but this will be this summer.
Hello, this is Kevin, Metro Technology. Thanks. Yep. So as soon as assuming that it is awarded, we'll draft up a contract and start a kickoff meeting and try to get everything ordered. And the plan would be, as soon as the buildings are empty for the summertime, we'll get in there and work. And will be done, I would imagine early August, to allow some time for professional development training for the staff before they return. But all this project will be done over the summer.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Green, also question is, what's the anticipated useful life? As I read through the warranties, we have some that are 7 years, some that are 5 and such. So what's the anticipated useful life? Meaning, how long will this stuff last before technology says it's old and we need to replace it again? So I can't believe it's 7 years personally.
So the smart panels, they have like if we look at the life as far as how long it should last, they're about 50,000 hours of continuous use. This particular model is the flagship that just recently came out. So we went, as Mr. Casaban mentioned at the beginning, we've been doing a lot of research and working with our instructional tech team. So we went last year to Cranbrook. They had a smart event there, and they were showing these new units that are now just finally hitting the market. So this is the latest and greatest version. And so that warranty is to cover the panel, because we know that that's the most critical component out of it. So to make sure that we get that lifespan.
Mm-hmm. And then who's responsible for training the staff to use all this technology?
I was going to ask the same thing.
So built into the package with the Tierney brothers is several days worth of professional development credit. So we'll need to work that out with the curriculum office to figure out where we can fit that in with the back to school PD or somewhere in there. But that is built into the Tierney brothers quote. So they will have somebody from Smart, the actual manufacturer, from their professional development team that will customize a package to this exact solution and then roll that out with our staff. And that is included in the Tierney Brothers package.
And so since this is a smart system as well, so when our students walk back in the door into the classrooms in the fall next year, when they bring their laptops with them, everybody will be capable to dial in with those laptops into all this technology. Is that correct?
So it will have the capability to scale up to do that. So we'll have to do some configurations and things on the network to make it so that the network that the students use, but yes, the flexibility and functionality will be there. We'll just have to work through some of those things.
Okay. I mean, because my expectation, right, is if we have this technology, are we phasing out textbooks eventually? I start looking at this like, do I spend money, thousands and thousands of dollars on textbooks, or do I actually spend the money on technology for the individual students? And I no longer, everything is on that laptop. That is the textbook of the future, right? So how do we start looking at that, Neil, and the technology team, right? Between traditional textbook versus laptop. And we don't need to answer that today, but I mean, right, we're starting to think seriously about that. You know, how do we start to move that money or those funds from the traditional textbook into the digital textbook? So, but this is great. I'm really, really encouraged to see this. This is the way we need to be. This is exactly the direction we're going in. So I appreciate all the effort Kevin and the team has done, and Neil and the team, and our suppliers as well, to really give us a very outstanding technology base to work with. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
This is Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Sure. I was just going to ask, when you remove the existing equipment, what are we doing with that? You've answered all my other questions.
Well, since we're going to continue to need to support the high school level, both Enterprise and Warren Woods Tower, as well as some units that we have over here in adult education, there are a certain number of units which we have already kind of specified that will be turned over to us, that we will be able to use as spares to keep the existing equipment running in the other buildings. And then in addition, as part of the bid package, the bidders will build in a credit, knowing that they're going to be needing to remove some of the equipment, and whether they feel like they can sell some of it on the aftermarket or whatnot. It's usually tied into their bid price that they've already bid on, but we have specified units that we will be having turned over to us to be able to use to continue to maintain the buildings that will be waiting another year before theirs get swapped out.
Okay, very, very good. Yeah. And I do like the fact that you guys have incorporated the professional development. That was another one of my questions. Very good. And that the teachers were involved up front. Did you guys have a committee?
Yeah, the instructional technology team is really what we've ran this through. And it has really been, I wish I would have went back and looked, but I think it's been at least a year in the making that we've been meeting and trying to talk through this process and look at what solution will work best. I believe Mr. Garcia was with us for the DSAT meeting when we kind of unveiled what after the bids were awarded and kind of walked the teachers through exactly what we were able to get. And I know many of them were extremely happy. And talking to the ones that I have talked to, I think they really feel like we have, taken their feedback, and these solutions and the flexibility of this will give them meets exactly what they were looking for.
That's perfect, because really that's the key to getting this all up and running.
Yep, and that's the exact
Collaboration.
reason why we're holding off on the high school, because we want to make sure that we have it exactly right before we bid it out.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, this Garcia has a question. First of all, I want to say that this is really exciting and forward thinking, and I'd like to thank the administration and the staff and the teachers who've all worked to put this together, because this is going to be quite a jump forward in our ability to educate our students. Everybody, all the questions I had were addressed by the other board members. The only other question that I would ask is there going to be like a help desk or any post-contractual, post-contractor help once the equipment is in and the teachers or the staff have been trained? We all know that as with all these new systems, there's probably going to be some glitches along the way. Will that be handled in-house by our administration in-house, or will that be will we be getting some support from the contractors?
Kevin or Ken? Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Ken. Sorry. So yeah, part of the warranty, 5 years and then 7 years for the boards will address a lot of the issues. But I imagine that as changes are made or there's updates for the contract, any updates. But it may have to be something part of the professional training for following years, just to make sure that anything new is being utilized properly.
And just to piggyback off of that, so we, much like we do right now, we kind of we'll have the warranty and the service to go out to Tierney Brothers, but if there's something quick that we can resolve internally with our IT team, we're not going to have somebody have a delay to wait. So by switching out some of the older equipment, we're going to now have this new equipment to kind of manage and support. So it'll be a combination approach, but ultimately Tierney Brothers would be the one that will be supporting it. But we're going to do some of that in-house as well, just to get them back up and running real quick, if that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, is that it?
Yes, that's it for me.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, that was a motion by Hiller and a support by Fitzpatrick. Mr. Hiller.
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yes.
It's Walsh.
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Very excited.
Item 11 is personnel items. There are no leaves, new hires. Mr. Kassenbaum.
Yes, we have one new hire tonight. It is our recommendation to hire Riley Lynn Borsey as a special education paraprofessional at Warren Woods Tower High School effective today.
This is Walsh.
Patrick makes
So
the
moved.
motion. Oh,
Motion by
support
Walsh.
by Fitzpatrick.
Support by Fitzpatrick. Walsh. Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Patrick, yes.
Mr. Zanetti.
Zanetti, yes.
Miller.
Is that Hiller? Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. Item 12 is Jerry Barkey special. Adjournment. I entertain a motion.
This is
Hiller.
Fitzpatrick. Go ahead.
Go ahead. This is Hiller. I would like to make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion by Hiller.
Support Fitzpatrick.
Support by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Hiller.
Hiller, yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Zanetti,
Zanetti, yes.
Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Green, yes. The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned.